And I was looking forward to having a good time until this dude showed his face with that daggone toupee on. What's going on,
baby?
man?
I'm looking good, baby. I'm looking good. I'm looking good. I'm feeling good.
Hold on, let me ask you a question. What the hell is up with these slippers? What is that?
Man.
What is that?
That's those playmakers.
What you doing? Clank like Cinderella? What is that?
And let me tell you something. I was feeling like Tom Brady. I was sitting at home too long, and now I'm back, baby. I am back right here on TV where I belong. That's what it is, baby. And I'm here to bang you up.
I know you think you're going to take over.
Oh,
but it's when you come in here, all right, that you get humbled. Because ain't no damn cowboy gonna show up and take over first thing. It ain't happening. Move out the way, man. I said move out the way, man.
This is the start of big things happening for the Dallas Cowboys.
Get out of here, man.
I got the plan, and I'm gonna let you know it.
Oh, please. You see what I did with first six?
Don't worry about this. Don't worry about this. Just watch this.
We are here, gentlemen, looking handsome as ever. Vegas draft day doesn't get much better than this. The playmaker, Michael Irvin, looking like my security today.
Well, I appreciate it.
It is so good to have you back.
It's so good to be back, man. I really do miss you guys. And I really do mean what I said. I started feeling like Tom Brady a little bit home too long and wanted to get back to work, man. Every day I'm watching you guys and just thinking, man, I would like to be beating up on Stephen A right now. So I get to do a little bit of that.
But you couldn't. And the reason why you couldn't is because you had to go home because you're a cowboy. And when stuff matters, y'all are usually home. And that's all that happened here. I mean, it coincided with what traditionally goes on with the Cowboys.
We're on to a new day, a new season, and it starts right here.
Right
now, this is the draft. This is the greatest day.
Time out.
Okay, go ahead, Omar.
Let me just say, it's not just Stephen A. And it's not just the playmaker. We got a couple first-round picks stopping by, big-time guys, plus Kirby Smart and Stephen A. Nick Saban. Can a girl get a roll tide? He will be live.
Roll tide.
Oh, that was so weak. It's because I asked you. It was the weakest ever.
I'm just trying to be cool and mellow.
Okay,
Trying to be cool and mellow.
America's team. Let's go there.
Yeah.
Stephen A's team.
Let's do this.
The team that Michael Irvin won 3 rings with, the Dallas Cowboys. They're picking 24th overall. Time literally ran out on their season. Get what I'm saying, Michael? Dallas lost in the wild card. No Amari Cooper is a huge hit for Dak Prescott. Jerry Jones brought us behind the curtain earlier this week on who makes the draft decision in Big D. Listen up, y'all.
It was fun.
Our process is an inclusive one. We've said it. There's a lot of talk in this business about who makes the call, who actually makes the call. Okay, Taco was Stephen's call. Parson is my call.
That's not that funny to me.
Pure shade, and it's absolutely hilarious.
That is funny.
Is Taco salty after that? Just a little bit?
Then Taco clapped back at that, right? Like, hey, counting my dollars, making them holler.
It is what it is. All right, Irv, what should your Dallas Cowboys do at number 24? What would you like to see them do?
Listen, and in talking with the guys over at with the Dallas Cowboys, let me tell you what's most important here. And that's why I can't take this gibberish that Stephen A. is trying to dribble out towards me about last year or any of that, because today we are in Las Vegas because this is a huge day. Dreams are about to be realized and come true. And just like last year, remember when that beautiful star landed right upon Michael Parsons and we got an impact player? That's what the Dallas Cowboys need to get right now with that 24th pick. We've lost impact players, Amari Cooper. You've lost an impact player in Randy Gregory. You have to replace him with an impact player. And I say it this way because I don't want anybody, I don't want you to get stuck on the position. You need it. Last year, you wanted to get a cornerback. You wanted Surtain or J.C. Horn. But you didn't get stuck on the position. When the impact player became available right there at 12, Michael Parsons, you took him. Dallas Cowboys have to do that this year. Now, do they aim for that offensive line first? Yes, that's what they must do. They want to aim for that offensive line. But if the heavens open up and some beautiful stars fall, and it's something like, who Ooh, Jameson Williams fall at 24. I don't care with a bad leg right now. I'm taking him right now because that's what I call impact. To have this kind of speed put on that kind of team. I love Michael Gallup. He just bought a house across the street from me. He's my new neighbor. We'll be talking schemes and games all the time because he wants this kind of knowledge all the time. That's what he wants. We brought a house right across the street from him. So I love him. We're going to have him, and he'll be back. But if we can get that young man right there, that man's instant offense and instant impact. He's the closest thing, I think, to Tyreek Hill in this draft.
We'll be asking Nick Saban about him in just a bit.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What's
First of all,
so hilarious?
there's a couple of things that's very, very hilarious. So let's go backwards to forwards. Okay, first of all, Michael Gallup buying the house near you. Why would you do that? Why would he do that? You know,
Keep it in the family.
He set himself up. He set himself up to fail. I'm telling you that right now.
He set himself up to succeed.
No. Here's why. Here's the reason why.
Succeed.
Because Michael Irvin is a 3-time Super Bowl champion. Ain't a Dallas Cowboy in the last 27 years even been in the conference finals, let alone Super Bowl, let alone won a Super Bowl. So setting yourself up, all right, by moving next to you know what that is? That's about his hoping. You know, Michael Irvin got that relationship with Jerry Jones. Let me stick around. Hold on, let me.
No, you know what it is? I just got paid and I want to be in the nice neighborhood.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is what Dallas Cowboys do. So what he's done is he's ingratiated himself. He's trying to ingratiate himself with Michael Irvin. So Michael Irvin is sitting up there putting in a good word for with Jerry Jones, and he don't get shipped somewhere else like Amari Cooper did. That's what this is about. Okay, ain't gonna work because Jerry Jones is smarter than that. All right, so it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. All right, that's number one.
Right.
Number two. And love how you talk about the draft. It's a new day.
It's a new day.
It's always a new
right
day.
Here.
It's always a new day. 27 years of counting. It's always a new day. It's always a new day.
But it really is a new day. You're about to bring new talent on a football team right now.
All I got to remind everybody is this. The same Michael Irvin was the dude that was Michael Parsons gets drafted. He hugged him. Oh, this is this is the beginning. This is what we gonna do. What happened? Hold on. Tell me. What happened? Michael Parsons balls. Michael, calm down.
Go ahead.
Michael Parsons balls. Right. And they still went home. See what I'm trying to tell you this? I don't sit up there and tell you they can't play. I say, what can go wrong? Will go wrong. Did Michael Parsons show up at a hockey event the other day?
Did you see when he took?
And dropped the puck in the wrong fashion. He can't even drop the puck right. I mean, this is what they do. Hold on.
He was also at that Earl Spence fight with me, holding the champion's hand when Earl Spence broke a man in that fight.
Time out. But that's another element I was going to bring up because you wore a belt. Errol Spence wore a belt.
Right.
Michael Parsons put on the belt like, you know.
That's right.
I saw 2 champions. I saw 2 champions. But I saw 3 belts. You see what I'm saying? It's okay, though.
Well, I love this part.
All I'm trying to say is this. These are the kind of things
I love this part.
that set the Dallas Cowboys up the field.
Part.
Now, Dak Prescott threw yard the number 2 pass in the
Oh, there it is, Michael.
Oh, that's right.
Look at that right there.
That's so
Now look at that
beautiful
right there. Look at that right there.
Well, I'm going to tell you something.
Hold on. You interrupted me, man. You're
doing yourself a disservice right now.
Listen, here's my issue that makes me laugh. Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys had the 2nd-ranked passing attack last year.
Right.
You got a situation where you need an offensive line because your offensive line is aging, and you need to protect them, which is why they're talking about drafting this kid Tyler Smith out of Tulsa. Projected, that's what might happen, but we don't know. But like you brought up, this kid Jameson Williams out of Alabama. We understand how special. Listen. We understand how special the brother is. But my response to that is this: once again, you're going against the need to protect your quarterback. So you can have all the speed in the world, but if you can't protect the quarterback, he ain't gonna be able to get loose enough to feed those receivers. He ain't gonna get. You had Ezekiel Elliott rushing for 237 times last year for 1,000 yards. All right, average 4.2 yards a carry. But your running game clearly wasn't what it used to be as well. So you go ahead and get the sizzle. You get the splash.
Oh, Stephen A. Hold on. Wait, 1 second.
I clearly stated what I stated.
Cooper
right,
and I
clearly stated it with this position, with this spot, that we're going after an impact player. An impact player. Now, all linemen aren't impact players. Do they need linemen? Yes, they do. Do they need good offensive linemen? Yes, they do. But if they're not an impact offensive lineman, right now you can either come in. By that, I mean you got to come in and start right away, or you better be the best swing.
Well, you got to protect the quarterback. You got to protect your. Let me answer this question.
Yeah, but the impact part is what the Dallas Cowboys need. And that's why I said if you can get James Wilson.
Impact. Yes. Ain't the quarterback that got $75 million last year supposed to be providing the impact? Did you say that? Did you say that? Okay,
I'm with you.
He is what? What do you mean he is?
I am with you.
What do you mean he is?
I am with you on this.
Come on. When the season ended, you said he needed to do better. We ain't start the new season yet, so what you mean he is as a president? That is not true. That's factually incorrect.
In that final game, I sat right here. I said that the Stars did not show up in that game.
That's right.
And they did not show up in that game.
So what you mean is?
So I'm expecting them to show up.
Oh, you expect it. You expect it. You expect
Come on, man. Wait. Everybody out here is expecting their players to get better.
Don't you
That's
mean
the
hope?
whole
Don't you
idea
mean hope?
of having another offseason.
Don't you mean hope?
No,
don't you mean hope?
That got better last year.
Don't you mean hope?
That got better last year.
That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. Don't you mean hope? Because you can't expect a damn thing from your Cowboys.
Let me say this. Are you serious? Dak, coming off the injury that Dak came off of and the way he started that year, it was an incredible start to a season. An incredible start.
And I told you,
and then the injuries start coming in. Let's break this down. Remember, the Cowboys were 5-1 coming off that New England game when Dak got hurt, right? And then they went into the bye, came out.
They were actually 6-1. They were actually 6-1.
Okay, and then
they beat Minnesota.
Cooper Rush beat Minnesota. Cooper Rush beat Minnesota.
That's right.
Not Dak. Dak sat out that game.
Okay.
And then since Dak got back,
he beat Kirk Cousins.
Okay, and since Dak got back, that's where the turn. Okay. Before that, Dak was 73% pass completion. After that, he dropped to 66, and that affected everything. I'm telling you right now, Dak now has an offseason where all he's doing is getting better. Okay. He's not focused on one area of rehab. He's focused on the whole 360 pie of this football game, and he'll get better in those areas that he fell off on last year.
So let's analyze this. The Dallas Cowboys lost to the Denver Broncos.
Right. And no, wait. When Dak got hurt, and then there was a series of injuries after that, and we never had the continuity again.
Just scared the right way. You scared to listen? You scared to listen? I mean, you seem like you're scared to listen. That's how you seem like you're scared to listen. They lost to the Denver Broncos, and they got shellacked that game. The 30-16 final score was not indicative of the beatdown that happened in Dallas. So they lost that one, right? Then they lost back-to-back games to the Chiefs, and in overtime to the Raiders. Of course, down the line, they lost to the Arizona Cardinals. Every credible team the Dallas Cowboys went against, they fell. That is a fact. Is that
what
not
I'm
true?
telling you, Stephen A.
Is that true?
I say yes, but every game after that, remember now, Dak got hurt, Dak came back. Then Amari Cooper was gone. Then C.D. Lamb was gone. Then Zach Martin got hurt. And then Tyrod Swift. We kept missing people. They couldn't get it all together.
This is football. I'm talking to a 3-time Super Bowl champion that has experienced a multitude of injuries happening around him. And this is the same man that has been an extraordinary NFL analyst for many years now, who religiously says it comes with the game.
Right.
You got to have it. Next man up. You got to find a way to get it done. And y'all did it. And even you said the Stars didn't show up, number one. Number two, you pointed out how we got to embrace the moment. These guys, they got to embrace the moment. They don't do that, right? But you're going to sit here after saying all of that and say, it's a new day. What new day?
Let me tell you what new day. And let me tell you why I'm so happy today. Because this time last year, we got a Michael Parsons. And I remember when I called the defense before we got a Michael Parsons. It was an Oprah Winfrey defense. It gave 40 points to everybody that showed up. You get 40, you get 40. And Michael Parsons made a difference. He came in and made a difference. I'm expecting that impact player to do the same thing, and you get one more dog in the locker room. When I talk to him, I tell him, don't just get me an athlete, get me a dog. I mean somebody that wants to play. I don't care where they play, like Michael Parsons, and you get one more of those dogs in the locker room, and the Cowboys will be where they need to be.
Hold on, real quick, though. I have a question for you. Because this is such a talented receiver class, obviously we know Amari Cooper is gone. We know Michael Gallup's hurt, so I get you wanting to go receiver, but don't you think you could wait? Still get a good receiver. And that 24th pick, focus on another need.
Here again, the key word, I'm going to drop it again now because I know I'm saying impact player. You know you can't wait. You got to get an impact player early if he's going to be an impact player. We need him to make a difference.
Because you have 2 picks in the second round, and you got 3 in the third. So I'm just saying with all these receivers.
And we'll get support in those rounds.
You know how
you need impact with that.
You want me to tell you, can I ask you a question, Molly?
Yeah.
Maybe somewhat rhetorical. Everybody's got a draft tonight.
Yeah, everybody does. Everybody does.
Anybody else have a press conference other than the Dallas Cowboys?
Some people been talking. They've been talking.
I didn't say that. I said that anybody.
Why is your chest so higher than mine? Why you make me feel so
Because I got longer legs and a shorter torso, damn it. Here's the deal. Let me ask you this question, Molly. Did you see a press conference from any other team?
No, but I'm not mad about that because that press conference was hilarious.
It was hilarious. I don't mind. But I'm just saying, this bloated view of themselves.
Bloated?
Without question. I mean, it's a bloated view. I mean, it's just
I haven't heard
about
you use that word.
I mean, the fact, listen, I love Jerry and Stephen Jones. We're going to have a drink together soon.
Hey,
but the bottom line is once again, engaging in that level of hyperbole.
Let's move on.
When you are America's team, you have to feed America information about what's going on with the organization because you are America's team.
Can we move on? All right.
Sure.
We're hoping it's not Taco. We're hoping it's Parsons.
I can already tell we'll be laughing.
Now to the team Dallas lost to. That would be the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh my
and
God.
it is no secret Deebo Samuel wants out, but the grass isn't always greener on the other side. The AFC West has now leapfrogged the NFC West as the most competitive division in football. In the last 3 years, the Niners went to the Super Bowl, the conference championship last season, knocking off Aaron Rodgers and the Packers in the divisional round before losing to the eventual Super Bowl champion. Here's GM John Lynch.
I can't ever imagine, wanting to move on from Deebo. You put yourself through the exercises of, you, even though we don't have a first-round pick, you have to be thorough in this process and prepare for everything. And so you go through and do that. He's just too good of a player.
Meanwhile, marinate on this. Deebo tweeting this out yesterday. Apparently not liking all the talk. You can see that right there. Stephen A. Would it be a mistake for Deebo to leave San Francisco?
No, it wouldn't. I support whatever Deebo Samuels wants to do. I sincerely mean that. And I get where his tweet is coming from. And, I don't think he was talking about me, but I think it applies to me. I don't cover the San Francisco 49ers. I don't have any idea what's going on with them. Here's all I know. I know that I respect the hell out of Kyle Shanahan, who's a great, great coach. I know I respect the hell out of John Lynch and the job that he has done. It should be commended and applauded what job this man has done. He's got the San Francisco 49ers competitive. He's worked well in concert with Kyle Shanahan. They've got a brain trust in San Francisco that I think they should rely upon for years to come. Profound respect for what they're doing. They're not at fault for any of this stuff. But neither is Deebo Samuels for wanting to leave. I completely support my brother here. And here's the reason why. This dude is an all-purpose offensive player for the San Francisco 49ers. He is not just a receiver. He's a multifaceted receiver. He can play the slot. In the slot, he can play outside the numbers if you ask him to. Hell, he could play the tight end spot if you really, really needed him to. He's strong enough. He's big enough. He's versatile enough. He's gifted enough. He's fast enough. He's got reliable hands. His route running can't be questioned. All of those things come into play, even though obviously you wouldn't put him ahead of George Kittle. Having said all of that, he also comes out of the backfield for you. And what I would say to you is, Michael Irvin, I would go to your Dallas Cowboys to accentuate my point. To accentuate my point even more. If you remember, DeMarco Murray used to play for the Dallas Cowboys.
Thank you.
If I remember correctly, I think I threw out the number 322. I think I was wrong about that. I think one year, his last year in Dallas, he rushed the football 392 times. They worked him to death and then said, you know what? Go elsewhere to get your money. We ain't going to give you that. And then he ended up going to the Philadelphia Eagles and ultimately the Titans before his career faded. What I'm saying to you is this, and I mean no disrespect. I'm not talking about Jerry or the Cowboys in a negative fashion. You utilize the talent that's available to you. Well, guess what? With Deebo Samuel, he's too multifaceted not to utilize him, especially when Jimmy Garoppolo, porn star Jimmy, is your quarterback. You know that you're going to rely on a running game. You're going to rely on short yardage passing situations or what have you. You're not throwing the ball down the damn field, which makes Deebo Samuel that much more significantly valuable. You are going to utilize him to the nth degree. So if he knows that, why should he not prioritize getting his money now? And if it's not going to happen in San Francisco, he is perfectly right to ask out, because that means I'm going to either get paid or I'm going to go somewhere where they'll utilize me less. The chances of me getting injured significantly diminishes. And as a result, I'll be in a position maybe a year or two down the road to get the money I richly deserve. I completely support Deebo Samuels and what he is thinking. I stand right by him. He is right. He is not wrong. It's just that San Francisco isn't wrong either for what they're planning for their future because they have a team to take into consideration. But this brother is special, and now is the time for him to get his money before somebody runs him into the ground.
And this, for me, is real dicey here because, like a surgeon, I got to cut around some delicate things because I talk to Deebo quite a bit. I mean, I love the kid. I mean, he's like a nephew. You know what I mean? Really like a nephew. And I've talked to him quite a bit the last few days or last few weeks while this situation has been going on. And I ran into him at the Super Bowl, and we were talking at the Super Bowl. And I said to him then, hey, man, I know you got to get your money, but I really want to see you stay with Kyle Shanahan and stay with San Francisco. You know, I love John Lynch also. I see him at the Hall of Fame sometimes. I think Kyle Shanahan is going to be a Hall of Fame coach.
Yes.
I want Deebo to get one of those gold jackets one day. And the right system will put him in there to get him that gold jacket one day. So I said to him, but when I said it to him, he didn't react like, yeah, he was with me. So I left it at that, and I said I'll dig deeper after the Super Bowl. And he and I have had some conversations. I can tell you now without violating anything, because I asked him. He said don't say anything, and I will not violate his trust in me.
Should absolutely.
But I can tell you this, man. When you're dealing with wide receivers like this, you're dealing with emotional guys. Yeah. Emotional guys. You can't use their emotion on one side and then not expect to have to deal with it on the other. When Deebo and the 49ers came out of that locker room to play my Cowboys, you saw who was leading that pack. It was Deebo Samuel. He was leading the pack, and those guys had that box, and I was like, oh, my God. That told me something right there. That guy right there, let me see you try to win without that guy right there. When they made that big turnover and he looked at Kyle Shanahan in that game, give me the ball. He handed the ball, next play was a touchdown. That's the emotional leader of that football team right there. And something has happened in the relationship area that I hope they can mend. Right. I hope they get that back together and keep him there because Deebo Samuel is a bad man. And what I hate, this is what I hate most, how it's gotten out about his use. I think that's a mistake because that's your value. Don't let them hear anything about you not wanting that you don't like the use. Give me my money, and then I'll come talk to you about how we can be used after I get my money. Well, because nobody can play both ways like Deebo Samuel. But I understand he doesn't want to be playing running back all the time and taking all those hits if you're not going to compensate.
Well, a couple of things. Number one, he was right not to listen to you. You're a Cowboy.
What does that mean?
He was right. He was right not to listen to you.
I want this man to have prosperity and greatness and leave his mark.
You also picked the Cowboys to beat him and knock him out in the playoffs. Okay, which would have hurt his value had he lost that game.
We transitioned from the Cowboys. Did you not hear that?
I'm getting to other points, but I just wanted to make sure that you understand he shouldn't have listened to you. I mean, you wanted him to lose to the Cowboys, okay? All right, that's the point.
But the 49ers saw the way those last two games against the Rams when they were trailing and they made the greatest comeback in Kyle Shanahan history. It was all Deebo. And then that Cowboy, you cannot try to go into a season without Deebo Samuel, especially when you got a quarterback that you ain't even crazy about.
Okay, let me say this to you also, in all seriousness. I'm looking at I got it right. 2014, DeMarco Murray, 392 rushes.
Right.
All right, for 1,800.
And that's why I want to bring some up, because you made a great point in this.
And the season his career basically went downhill from that point forward. You talk about his value is his usage. I say no, and here's why. His value is his usage in terms of holding on.
In this situation right here, you're getting your money.
Let me explain. In terms of holding on to what he already did, not having to do it again before he gets his money. See, the point is you hold on to it now because he's healthy. He's young. He can still do this. Right. What you don't want is to wait, put yourself through another situation like that for another season, and then it gives them an additional year to hold off, claim that attrition is kicked in, and compromise your bottom line. Deebo Samuel is absolutely right to be going after his money right now. There isn't a player, a coach, or an organization who should frown upon his position when you consider the utilization that he's going to be exposed to in the years to come. No way.
I'm with you on that.
No way.
I am not on the other side of what you just said. I'm with you on that. I'm saying this, though. I'm saying this. Right now, that number has jumped. $30 million. You want to say, this is why I'm valuable. This is why I say, pay me this number. No, you want to tell me I'm not Devontae Adams? Okay. You want to tell me I'm not Tyreek Hill? Okay. But, boy, I can do the mixture of those better than anybody in the National Football League.
Put him in a ballpark now.
Right.
But what I'm saying is he can't wait another year for anything.
But he's already said he's not showing up to camp. So we're already there. So what I'm saying is, I'm not talking about the usage because I want all things on my side until you give me my money. I already told you I ain't coming. I don't want people out here saying, well, he don't want to play running back. Why he expecting all that money? He don't. I'm not going to talk about that until after I get my money. Then I'm going to sit, and you got to listen to me because our deal is in the front office.
He's willing to do anything. He's willing to do anything it takes to win.
And say that again.
Just pay him.
Say that again.
He's willing to do anything
because I said that to him. I said I don't like that they're putting it out as if you're not willing to do what you want. Because that's the first thing he says to me.
You need
he said, I'll do
protection. You're
anything to
putting
help
your
my
body
team
on the
win.
line.
Deebo Samuels came on this show.
He said, I'll do anything to help my team win.
Let's state this record. Let's state this for the record. Deebo Samuel will do anything
to help his team
win.
Okay.
Right. Period.
That's the
pay
thing.
him.
Right.
Pay him.
Yeah.
I want to get to one other topic quickly. Another player that could be out the door, that is Baker Mayfield. He's been replaced by Deshaun Watson after a lackluster season, but let's not forget he was dealing with a shoulder injury. It's not the strongest quarterback class compared to recent years, and so far no takers for the Bake Show. Here's our quarterback, Dan Orlovsky on Baker.
I think it gets resolved this weekend, and I think Baker Mayfield walks away as the steal of the NFL draft. If you're looking at him through the lens of 2020 draft and you want a quarterback and you get to that third or fourth round and the guy that you don't want is there, and you sit there and say, I'm going to trade a fourth-round pick for a guy that 4 years ago was the #1 pick of the draft, for a guy that 2 years ago led his team to the playoffs and was top 10 in the QBR, I understand the finances are what they are. That's above my brain power. But Baker Mayfield has the opportunity to walk away as the steal of the NFL draft.
Baker Mayfield, potentially the steal of the NFL draft. Stephen A., do you still have confidence in Baker as a starting quarterback in this league?
As a starting quarterback, yes. As a winner, no. And as an aside that really has nothing to do with football, but in a sense does, I'm not interested in Dan Orlovsky's hyperbole. You know what? Start putting your wife in first class.
Oh, here you're never going to let him live it down.
The man puts his wife in coach, Michael. He puts his wife in coach. She should leave him for 2 weeks.
Okay, let's be clear.
But anyway,
let's not act like he's in first class and she's in coach in the back. That's not the case. They're both in coach.
But she should be in first class. You take care of your woman. Dan Orlovsky, I taught him better than this. But anyway, my point is, having said all that, I love Dan. But here's in all seriousness, I do think that he's engaging in a little bit of hyperbole, Irvin, because Baker Mayfield is not a scrub. Baker Mayfield can play.
Yeah.
But we keep putting so much on the fact that he was injured last year. Well, he had 3 years before that, and yes, he got him to a playoff series, and yes, they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. No doubt about it. But when we talked about the Cleveland Browns, and we saw Odell Beckham Jr. and Jarvis Landry and Njoku and Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, what we religiously stated is that the weak link to the Cleveland Browns offense was their quarterback. That's inescapable. Now, that doesn't mean he's a scrub. It doesn't mean he can't play. Doesn't mean he can't start. But what it does mean is that there was something about Baker Mayfield that was a notch below what the elite quarterbacks that existed throughout the NFL were. So sometimes it's not about whether you can play or not. It's you being compared to your contemporary. A lot of people debate. A lot of people got show.
Right.
A lot of people got a lot of stuff to say. But they ain't Stephen A., damn it. It's just a different level. It's just a different level of things, okay? I mean, it's just it.
30 minutes in. Good job. 30 minutes in. Pat yourself on the back, big time. You got this. You're the man. What are you the Magic Johnson debates? There we go.
I am. To the point that the 10-time champion, number 1 for the last 10 years. Pay attention, girl. You've been right here by my side for 6 of them. I mean, come on. It ain't like you.
Come on, man.
Catch up.
Why you can talk about your history, but the Cowboys can't go into their history? Come on now.
Time out. Because she's the matriarch of a show that's been number 1 in the mornings for 10 years and counting. Y'all ain't winning the last 27 years. You see the difference? I don't know what the hell you thinking about. But the point is, in the end, Baker Mayfield can play. But the truth of the matter is, it's something that I say religiously.
What?
The brother got more progressive commercials than wins. That's a fact. I know it's funny to people. It's a fact.
I think we just got to take these things in consideration here. Absolutely. I think Baker has such great talent around him. But I would like to have seen some continuity with him. You know, Baker's been in and out of offensive systems. He's a young man coming in, learning a hard game, and keeps getting thrown new systems every time he tries to get grasp of one. So let's give him another opportunity. I absolutely think Baker can lead the right team that has the right setup for him to succeed. Carolina
What's
Panthers.
the right team?
A Carolina
What's
Panthers
the right team?
football team.
How?
Let me tell you. A team that has a good running back and
great running
back who can catch the ball out of the backfield.
Christian McCaffrey's the real deal. I know that.
So Baker can give him some short. He can make long. They just signed DJ Moore to his big deal. I just talked to him about it. And DJ Moore is a great young player. So he has players around him. And they're going to play good defense. He has to have that kind of team.
That makes
Carolina,
no sense.
the Seahawks, teams that are going to run the ball first and then throw. How does that make no sense?
Because you're describing what he's had in Cleveland for at least the last 3 years.
But I just told you he had a different offensive coordinator every year, not just the last 3 years. More than that.
And why is that?
So give him something that he can work with and learn with.
What's wrong with you?
Look at what Aaron Rodgers went through when he got a new offensive. Tom Brady, they had to learn new offenses. This dude had to do it every year.
Irvin,
give him a chance, man.
Michael
Come
Irvin,
on.
listen.
Give this man a chance.
Time out. Nobody is saying the brother deserves to be on the unemployment line. What we're saying is, what we're saying is he ain't that dude. The reality is, Mike, if you got that many different offensive coordinators, when is it about you? I mean, he got all of this talent around him. Why the hell you think they kept changing offensive coordinators? Because they drafted him number 1 overall, and you know this better than me. You got franchises that try to justify the pick, and that's what they did. They pacified him to try to justify for themselves and for the audience and their fan base why we took him number 1. It ain't because he deserved it. What's wrong with you?
I'm going through, maybe Hugh Jackson has some good stuff. What other offensive coordinator in there? Fred Kitchen, who you talking about had some great success that Baker Mayfield should take all the blame? What success those offensive coordinators had before they got to Baker that says all of this is on Baker? None of them.
Mike Irvin, can I ask
None of them, though.
Let me shut this down. Let me drop the mic drop right here. Stay with me. I just need...
Maybe Hugh.
I just need yes or no answers. Is Baker Mayfield better than Deshaun Watson?
Wait a minute.
Stay with me.
Come on, man.
Help me out.
You know I'm going to say no to that.
So let me say this.
No,
Time out. It's about your competition.
Right.
He ain't better than Patrick Mahomes. He ain't better than Justin Herbert.
No,
he ain't better than Deshaun Watson. He ain't better than Lamar Jackson.
He was
He's not better than Joe Burrow. He's not better than Mac Jones.
Stephen A., those are the best quarterbacks in the league. And Mac Jones, you're not sure about.
Molly, Baker Mayfield was one Rashard Higgins fumble away from beating Patrick Mahomes. One Rashard Higgins fumble went out of bounds. That was right there for you. Almost beat Patrick Mahomes.
I didn't say he couldn't play. I said that he's worthy of being a starter in this league. But what I also said was, when you were with the Cleveland Browns with all that talent, the question everyone had was about the quarterback. It's inescapable. It's undeniable. Why hasn't the man landed somewhere else yet?
I would love to see him end up with a Kyle Shanahan.
Well,
I know it ain't available to get it.
I noticed you didn't say you wanted it with the Cowboys. I know you didn't say that.
No, that was Deebo Samuel.
Olave!
Chris Olave, smooth, tremendously productive.
I think Olave is one of the best route runners in this class. He has 7 touchdown catches of 15-plus yards this season. He is a smooth criminal.
Tiptoeing that edge is Chris Olave. Olave, touchdown number 2 for number 2.
Olave on the outside, absolute terror for opposing defenses.
Mel Kiper Jr.'s final mock draft sees 7 wideouts going in the first round. Unbelievable. Chris Olave is third on that list, projected to go 11th to the newly named Washington Commanders. Stephen A. hates the name. Olave, the all-time leader in receiving touchdowns in Buckeye history. Hugely impressive. Chris, with us now. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Appreciate y'all for having me.
Obviously, teams were very high on you, and then you went and showed out at the Combine, running a 4.26. We talked about it. Rich wide receiver class, but what separates you, Chris?
I feel like besides all the production and everything I do on the field, I feel like I'm a leader on and off the field. And the way I approach the game, I feel like it's second to none. So I feel like that's what separates me from the class.
Chris, you know, on draft,
go ahead.
Chris, on draft day, our jobs here, we're introducing you now to the NFL world. Everybody in the Ohio State and college world knows you. Talk to me about where you grew up, the team you watched growing up, the receiver you watched growing up.
I grew up in San Diego, California. I grew up watching the Chargers, so I was a huge Chargers fan with LT and all them when all them was happening. So I grew up out there, and I was a huge fan of them.
You know, when you look at yourself, your game, obviously we've got people we talk about, you know, Traylon Burks, Jamison Williams, and others. Talk to me about how do you believe you should be viewed and why?
I feel like I'm a receiver of multiple traits. I'm a deep threat, but also I can run any route. And I feel like that's huge to have in the NFL, not to just be one-level receiver. I feel like I'm a well-rounded prospect and all.
When you look at yourself and your career in the Big Ten, obviously, I mean, you being at Ohio State, they prepare you for this next level. We all get that. We all get that.
Right.
You know, NFL, they say is a man's game because of how big these boys are. They paying for for mortgages and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What have NFL players who've played at Ohio State, what have they told you about what to expect on the next level?
They say the same thing. I mean, when you go to a place like Ohio State, you play against the best and compete with the best every day. So when you get to the NFL, I mean, they already prepared you in college for all that, the weight room and football stuff. So they just take care of the little things, just keep working, and everything will pay off.
Staying on that subject.
Every week. Every week, you know, in Ohio State, sometimes y'all have them, you know, powder puff game. But it won't be no powder puff. Every week, they're going to be bad boys in the NFL. Excuse me. What teams have you talked to the most?
I've talked to Washington, Philadelphia, L.A., those really, and then New Orleans, mostly.
Any preference there?
Nah, man, I ain't got no preference. I can't control that.
I know you should prefer a different name than the Commanders, but go ahead.
I don't think it's that bad.
Lord.
I was told you worked out in South Florida with Brandon Marshall, House of Athletes. How was that experience, and any of the players you really bonded with?
Oh, yeah, it was good going out there for my pre-draft training. I was out there with Brandon Marshall and a lot of guys that I could go to ask questions and go to help with. So it was a lot of connections I made, a lot of relationships I built, and I definitely had a good time out there.
What is that like? Let me tell you, because when I think back, like when I was coming out, you never got a chance to see other NFL guys. You know, there was no social media. Guys didn't communicate like that. Man, I remember as a kid and being in college, I got a chance to work out with Andre Reed. It was the greatest thing of my life. I was Jim Kelly and Andre Reed. I was there. But you get a chance to do it. You know, guys, you get a chance to do it all the time. You see guys all the time.
Yeah, it's definitely a huge blessing to be able to go work out there. That was one of the reasons why I picked there. I know NFL guys are going to be there, so just take some stuff from their game, try to pick their brains a little bit.
You know, well, first of all, when Michael Irvin talks about, you know, college, you know, he went to college in South Beach. I just think that's important. I mean, Miami is just a different, I mean, it's pretty hard not to enjoy
20-something old Michael in Miami. Superstar college player, trouble written all over it.
I just think these things are important to mention right here, okay? When you look at the NFL today, one of the things, let me say this, and this is to both of y'all. This is one of the things that annoys me about all wide receivers, because I love y'all, but this annoys me. Y'all act like, and when y'all do interviews, y'all act like the quarterback don't matter. Well, damn it does, because they're throwing y'all the football, and y'all trying to pretend it don't matter where we go. I mean, is somebody, whether it's you, is somebody willing to admit that's what it actually does matter, where you go because of the quarterback. I mean, if you go into, let's say, for example, you were going to L.A., you would have Matthew Stafford or Justin Herbert throwing you the football. If you go to Washington, it would be Carson Wentz. If you go to New Orleans, it would be Jameis Winston. Are we going to act like that makes no difference? Michael Irvin, that's for you more than him.
Not to a real dog. You see, a real dog comes in barking. Yeah. I'll take my quarterback where we need to go. That's what this dog is. That's what he's barking. I'm going to take my quarterback in the team where he needs to go. That's what he's saying.
That's why I asked the question to both.
That's the kind of player he is. Just get him there.
Let me ask you this. You're a big NBA fan, right?
Yeah.
The Nets getting swept. Who do you put that on the most?
I mean, it's on the whole team, I think. I don't think it's on one player. I feel like they could have played a better series altogether.
Yeah, I want to ask one thing, too, because just watching you, there are certain things, and I'm going to go a little deep in the weeds here on playing receiver. What you tell me, what do you think is your biggest challenge coming into the NFL playing the position?
I feel like just getting a little bit stronger. I feel like that's where I struggled a little bit in college. Just my body frame. I feel like I changed my diet a little bit, so I feel like I'm going to be straight.
What do you think that will affect you most? Are you coming off the ball or at the top of a route, just muscling at the top of the route?
Oh, yeah, in the NFL, everybody's going to be equally talented, and they're going to be a lot bigger. Corners usually like 200 pounds, so I just got to play a lot stronger through my releases and my routes. So.
Let me say something I'm seeing.
Wait a minute, damn it. I want to know. What's the change in the diet? I mean, brothers need help. Right. Brothers need help. I mean, what's the change in the diet? I mean, give us some examples. What kind of food you eat there? I mean, what's up?
Man, I'm just eating more clean, not trying to take out the snacks and all the little stuff. Just eating a lot more vegetables, a lot more fruits.
Right. And it's giving you more energy.
Oh, yeah, a lot more energy.
Stuff to build muscle.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, man. Let me give you a gift here, man, because I would watch some plays and I'm seeing how you catch the ball in your body like that. And a lot of people always receive. It's a great gift to be able to do that. A lot of guys cannot do it. And I call you catch that ball like that when you know you have to protect that ball. 3rd down and 6, 7, 8 on slant routes. Yeah. You catch it here. Any hit, you may get knocked out, but at least you're going to get the first down. You see what I'm saying? At least you're going to get the first down. I saw that, and that's a talent that a lot of guys don't have. It means he's a natural receiver.
Last point to both of y'all. I think about Devontae Smith. He used to play at Alabama, obviously now with the Philadelphia Eagles. I think when I look at you, sometimes I think about him. Mm-hmm. Am I off kilter with that? Relative, to some degree, undersized, exceptional route runner, exceptional speed, exceptional hands, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, is that a wrong comparison to y'all?
No, that's cool. That's a good comparison. I watch a lot of film on him and try to put some stuff in my game that I got from him. So that's definitely a good comparison.
Okay. Yeah. But I think he's probably a little bigger, a little stronger. Okay. Just a little bit bigger and stronger. Mm-hmm. Trying to get stronger.
Yeah.
Everybody can't be you.
No. Did you see the dude ran a 4.2? Man, I'm just
talking about you living in the gym in your 50s. That's what I'm talking about. That's all I mean.
This dude here looking ready, man.
Chris, thank you so much for stopping by. Best of luck. Best of luck at the next level.
What is that like running a 4.26, man? What is that like running that fast, man?
Man, this is a blessing, man.
You better believe it's a blessing. God didn't give me no nit. None of it is a blessing. And you can't run at all.
Hell no. I can run. I just ain't trying to do that. Not like that. I'm trying to get hit. That's all.
Chris Olave, appreciate you. Fresh off a national championship.
Haven't nobody been on the stage.
Anderson kind of hovers. Pick! Nakobe Dean at the 50, 40, 30. He's going to take it to the house. Dinner's cooking. Touchdown! Touchdown, Nakobe! Pick 6!
Best football IQ of any defender in this year's class. I dare you to find a player who had better tape in 2021 than Nakobe Dean.
With us now, Butkus Award winner Nakobe Dean and Kirby Smart, fresh off a national title. Congratulations!
Thank you.
This guy might be the whole time. Yeah.
We had to get on his show.
Yeah.
I said, them damn Georgia Bulldogs. They made me out to be lies. Congratulations, though.
He said we have Bulldogs on the show. I said we got 2 of them. No, yeah.
I roll with Saban on this one. I don't want to lose, but if I had to lose to somebody, it should be y'all. I got it. Congratulations, fellas.
Thank you. Thank you. It was fun.
Nakobe, how has playing at Georgia and under Kirby Smart prepared you for the next level?
Man, we do a little bit of everything at Georgia. I feel like we took a business approach to every single day. And I feel like this is going to prepare me not only on the field, but off the field in life. The way everything, all the connections and all the people that you meet, just going to help me far along in life.
I want you to answer this question as it pertains to how does this man, this coach, prepare you? Because when I think about Kirby Smart, first of all, you're one of the great coaches in college football history as far as I'm concerned. And we knew this coming in when you were coming over to Georgia that it was going to be something big. And in all seriousness, the fact that Georgia has been elevated under your watch has made college football, in my estimation, that much more compelling. So in all seriousness, I really want to congratulate you on that. And I want you to speak to what this man has done for you as it pertains to your aspirations to really, really succeed on the next level.
So I'm gonna start this off with a story, you know. So I remember being a freshman. I remember I came in spring practice. I was tired. I was sleepy. I was tired. I didn't get no sleep. He came to me. He was like, I know you tired. You be up studying all night doing your homework. I'm like, yeah, coach. He was like, I don't care. He was like, I don't care.
This young man was an engineering major, and he had a 4.0 in high school, so he wanted to maintain that in college, and I saw it. I saw it in his eyes.
Yeah, so he,
Arthur Ashe Sports Scholar. Yeah, impressive in the academics and on the field. Yeah.
Thank you, yeah. But, you know, little lessons like that, you know, just show that, just taught me that, you know, it's basically not, you know, all the work you put in, you know, behind the scenes, it really don't matter. It comes out. What you can put out and what you can show people is what really, you know, what matters.
Let me transition to Coach Smart again because, Coach, I got to ask you, and I love the story that he just gave because, you know, some of my favorite coaches of all time, I played for legendary Coach Clarence Big House Gaines, and it was the life lessons that he taught me. And so when he just finished articulating that, you said, I don't care. What I love about that is that's the real world. Right. You know, to sit up there and coddle guys and to shield them from the world that is awaiting them, I think is a mistake. So when I hear something like that, to me, that speaks to you preparing them for what's coming. Talk to me about the job that you believe that you've done at Georgia and what has made you so successful.
Well, first off, we got great infrastructure. So we've got a 5-hour radius of Athens, Georgia that probably has some of the best football players in the country. So we're able to go recruit good players. We got great support from our university. And then a young man like this that decides to come from Mississippi, you know, he had to cross over a state between Mississippi and Georgia to come to Georgia. Right. And he did that. He made a really tough decision, and he made the right decision. He's a guy that's grown in our organization and very fortunate to be at a place that supports us, allows us to go out and recruit all over the country, but we got a lot of talent base around us, and we've been able to develop those guys.
What did it say to you? I mean, what should we say about a Kirby Smart that coached under the great Nick Saban and obviously accepts a job where clearly you're going to be challenging Nick Saban? You've done it. But could you speak to your mindset at the time that you decided to take on that challenge, where you were up here and what made you decide to embrace that so eagerly?
Well, I felt like it was the next step. You know, I had great 9 years there at the University of Alabama, and then to get the opportunity to come home to my alma mater, it was a no-brainer, right? Because it's a top 10 job in the country. It's top 5 job in the country. So when I got to go back, I knew the race in the SEC is brutal. I mean, it's brutal recruiting in the SEC, coaching in the SEC, but you get to coach guys like this. And I knew taking on that role that we'd have to get through the SEC gauntlet, but if you get through that, sometimes the playoffs are even easier. And that's what we've been able to do. When we get into the playoffs, it's like playing an SEC team every week.
Real quick, before I want to get to the teams that you've talked to, but the academics I find so impressive to play at that level. Why was that so important to you, and how were you able to balance it?
I mean, you know, growing up, my mother, it was always academics. It was never football, never ball. It was always academics. She always pushed it. So when I got to a certain age, it was just in me to keep it going, you know. So it's more so a personal feel, and I feel like I value that, and like I value football, academics, you know, my business, like all kind of the same. I hold it to a high level.
Really impressive. Great mother. What teams have you talked to mostly?
I'll be honest, I talked to a lot of teams. I talked to like 20 plus.
20 plus.
Yeah,
okay.
So I really don't know. No, honestly, I don't know.
You know, they got this guy, Devin Lloyd, out of Utah. They got him ranked. They got you ranked as the second best linebacker in the draft. They got this guy, Lloyd, at Utah ranked #1. Here's my thinking. Utah don't play in the SEC. That means they don't play against the same level of competition. Now, that doesn't tell a whole story, but I'm going to take that into consideration. So with that in mind, I'll ask you, do you believe You're the second best linebacker?
I do not.
What do you believe?
I believe I'm the best linebacker in this year's draft, hands down.
And what do you believe makes you the best linebacker?
Besides everything I do on the field, I feel like my mentality is second to none. You know, my mentality, the way I think about things, my mindset, and my leadership ability. I feel like I can lead like no other.
Coach?
He said it best. I mean, this was a guy that got almost every single vote of 130 votes for captains. We had some pretty good players if you watch the combine, right? We had some pretty good leaders if you watch the combine. This guy got more votes than anybody on the history of University of Georgia for captain, and he does it every day. He walks in the meeting room. He is a professional right now. He takes notes, and I've never had a college kid take notes every single day. He had his notes out, writing things down every single day, and it showed on the field.
Mom did a real good job. You put in the work. I want to ask you this, Coach. What would you say to critics who say that Nakobe's a bit undersized?
I would say look at the NFL linebacker right now and all the free release game that teams do. They're throwing the ball out of the backfield, the McCaffreys, the Dalvin Cooks, and all these guys. Who's got to cover that guy? He does. So you better have a guy that can run, change the direction, and cover. And he faced offenses like that. He went against James Cook every day in practice. So that's the kind of backs you have to face every day in the NFL, and he's perfect for it.
No question.
I believe in linebackers that put a hat on people.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I want to make sure that when you hit them, they're like, I don't want to see that guy again. That to me is what I expect from a linebacker.
Definitely.
All right, before we let you go, how's the suit?
Oh, it's nice.
Yeah?
I plan to be the best dressed.
Okay.
Yeah.
You do know.
What color?
I will be watching.
You want to tell us the color or you want to save it?
Blush. I'm going to get y'all blush.
Blush. I like that.
It's different.
Blush is classic. It's spring.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with it.
I have to confess, if I don't like the suit,
Oh, my goodness.
I'm going to say something.
Make sure you let me know.
Okay.
I'm going to let
sure
them
you let me
know.
know.
I'm just telling you.
I'm going to bet that Kirby is not going to have on a blush suit.
No blush for me. Blush doesn't go well with his figure.
Oh, my goodness. Kirby Smart, Nakobe Dean, thank you so much.
Thank
This
you,
was
guys.
such a pleasure.
Congratulations.
Best of luck.
Friday, bro.
Definitely.
And congratulations again, national champions. Ben Roethlisberger, the Steelers, Eli Manning, that's my quarterback to the Giants. There have been a plethora of picks to choose from under Nick Saban at Alabama. Here are 5 of the best. Tua, of course, is on this list, along with some of the best wideouts in the NFL, from Amari Cooper, who was traded by the Cowboys, to most recently in Devontae Smith. On that note, we welcome in one of the greatest to ever do it, the one and only Nick Saban. Coach, thank you so much for joining us this morning. You know, this man to my right is elated to have Roll Tide in the building.
Roll Tide, baby. There ain't no doubt about that. What's going on, Coach?
Not much. You are so kind with your introduction. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Listen, it's only facts, and I've got more for you, Coach. So since you arrived at Alabama, no other program has sent more players to the NFL. What's the secret to that success?
Well, I think twofold. You know, the two things that are most important is how do you bring players to your team? And then the second part of that is how do you develop them? So we've had some great coaches here to develop them. We've had some very good people to recruit them. And, you know, we have a program that really promotes guys having more success in life because they were involved in the program, whether it's personal development, academic success, and how they develop as football players. So there's a lot of value in that, and that's what we try to create for our players. That's why we get good players, and we've had really good people to develop them.
I do believe you. I'm not doubting that for 1 second, Coach Saban, but I got to ask you this question because, you know, you've been around for a while. You're an elder statesman in this game, but damn it, you look young. You look better than most of us. And then I look at your record, and it's like, what is it, 188 and 25, something like that in 15 years, an 88% winning percentage. And I guess to ask you the question is like, sitting here talking to you, you look like you could be coaching for the next 10 or 15 years, for crying out loud. What's the secret to you? I'm talking about you personally, because you look like you ain't going anywhere anytime soon.
Well, you know, I really like what I do. I've been a part of a team for a long time. It's a lot of fun to be in a leadership position. And, you know, every year is a new challenge. You have a new team. It's almost like taking a new job, actually, in terms of guys having new roles on the team, new people in the organization. So it's always a challenge. I like the challenge. I know most of us, and you're like this too, Stephen, I know you well, is, you know, we complain about the grind, but we love the grind too, and the grind is what keeps us going. So that's kind of how I feel about it, and really enjoy doing it, and look forward to next season being a tremendous challenge as well.
when I look at some of these players, I look at Evan Neal, your offensive tackle. He's projected to go top 6 in the NFL draft. I personally believe, listen, I respect the hell out of Kirby Smart and Georgia. I just had him on here, even though I picked Alabama to win the national championship. It's a shame to me that Jameson Williams got hurt. Mechie got hurt the game before that in the college football playoff. I'm wondering, as you reflect on last season, what did you walk away feeling most?
Well, first of all, we had a young team last year, so we didn't have the same kind of maturity and leadership that we had the year before when we won the championship. And when we lost a game to Texas A&M, I think that really helped the team mature. I think they responded a little better to the things that they needed to do. But, when we got down to the end, we actually, you always want to have guys at the skill positions on offense that the other people have trouble guarding. And then you always want to have 2 corners that can guard their guys. Well, unfortunately for us, at the end of the season, we lost both corners. We lost our 2 best wide receivers, Mechie and J-Mo. And that kind of changed the game for us. And I think it changed the game in a national championship game, too. Look, Georgia had a great team. They had a great defensive team. Kirby does a great job there. We had success against them in the SEC championship, but we didn't really have the same team when we played, and it changed the dynamics of the game tremendously. So, but I think that there's always, sort of a lot of lessons that you can learn to use to develop your team from a loss, and I think that's something that hopefully will be able to help this year's team's development.
Slight correction, Molly. Mechie got hurt in the SEC championship game against Georgia, not the college football playoff game, but go ahead.
By the way, before I get to Jameson Williams real quick, can we show Coach's office?
Oh, it's a beautiful office.
So, Stephen A., I just want you to know there are levels to this.
There are levels to this, and I'm not on it.
Stephen A., he's got a seating area. You see that desk? See all that work?
Right. Well, I had the pleasure of sitting in the office with Nick Saban. He invited me down, so
I heard you gave a great speech.
It was an honor. But
great speech.
I heard. Was it a great speech, Coach?
Great speech.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes, ma'am.
Of course. I'd expect nothing less from you. All right. Michael Irvin said earlier he would like the Cowboys to take Jameson Williams at 24. Obviously, he tore his ACL in January, but he's wowed scouts with that rehab and where he's at. There's been a ton of great receivers coming from your program. I mentioned them earlier. Where does Jameson stand among them, Coach?
Well, they're all a little different, but I think receivers are almost like a basketball team. You got a point guard, you got a power forward, you got a 2 guard. So they all complement each other when they play together, and we're fortunate that J-Mo would be the 5th first-round draft pick in the last 3 years at the wide receiver position for us. And, he's got great speed, but, man, I tell you what, this guy's got a lot of competitive character. He's got a lot of dog in him. He'll play gunner, on special teams. He'll run down on a kickoff. He's got great speed, and I think he's a guy that can really take the top off. Now, he can do more than that because he's got some catch and run ability, but I really love Jameson. He added so much to our program, and, when you got wide receivers on your team that have great competitive character, that's really helpful to the development of the whole group, and I think he did a wonderful job in that regard as well.
Coach, how do you compare him to your former player, Devontae Smith? Because you raved so much about him when he was there and helped obviously deliver you a national championship. When you look at Jameson Williams, how do you compare him to Devontae? I see some similarities, but I could be wrong. You're obviously the expert on that.
Yeah, well, it's hard to compare players, but, Smitty was a great all-around receiver. He was a very competitive guy. We had to use Smitty at corner one spring, and he was one of the best corners on our team. So he had a lot of diversity as a player. He could play in or out. I think J-Mo can do both, but I think he's more of a vertical guy. He's going to be a guy that, is going to, cause a lot of problems for people because of his ability to catch the deep ball, which will make other receivers on that team, better as well and more effective. So I think they can be used in a little bit different ways, but I think their effectiveness can be, just as good for any team that they play for.
Coach, I'll let you get back to all that paperwork behind you. It was a lot of fun having you on, and enjoy the draft tonight.
Coach, you'll be hearing from me soon, buddy.
We just put the paperwork there to fool you all. So
yeah, please. That's what all successful people try to do. They try to act like they don't work hard. That's the secret. I know it. All right, Coach, thank you so much.
Well, thank you all. Have a great day.
Prospects include 3 guys on the defensive side of the ball, including Aiden Hutchinson at number 1, Sauce Gardner at 3, and safety Kyle Hamilton from the Fighting Irish at Notre Dame at 4. And Kyle with us right now. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start with this. Who do you think your game most emulates in the NFL?
Maybe a Derwin James, just
Okay.
based off size comparisons. He's a great player, so get to that level, that's the goal. I grew up a big Sean Taylor fan. Rest in peace. He's in my opinion, GOAT safety. I know the YouTube videos front to back, so I've done my research.
I am a fan of yours. I like you. I like your potential. I'm looking forward to it. But you just mentioned 2 dudes, man. When you say Sean Taylor, I mean, there's a different dimension. God rest his soul. When you say Derwin James, that's a different dimension. Now, you do understand that when you mention those names, you talk about that's who you idolize, that's what you try to mirror your game after. They're tenacious hitmen. That's what I call them. I mean, look, remember what Sean Taylor did to a punter for crying out loud. A punter.
In the Pro Bowl.
During an all-pro game. You understand what I'm saying? You don't seem to be that. You don't seem to be that mean-spirited. I mean, well, are you sure? I just want to make sure you're sure.
I'm positive. You flip that switch on the field. I mean, I've never seen somebody compare themselves to somebody's average. So, Sean Taylor's best. I mean, I'm obviously not there yet, but that's my aspirations. Hope to get there at some point.
I'm just saying, you that mean, though, is what I'm trying to say, because you look like a very, very nice guy.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But, yeah, I definitely flip the switch on the field.
Right. And it's okay to have that baby face. Steph Curry don't look like he's dangerous. But he's as dangerous as they get when he gets on that basketball floor. He doesn't look dangerous at all. Right.
You guys expect him to come on morning television and look angry?
Right. We're talking backstage, man, and just talking about, it's been a while since we've seen a safety being talked about like as going this high in the draft. And the NFL has changed so much. You have that dual ability where you can stop the run, but also make plays in the backfield. What would you say is your greatest asset as a safety being ready to get drafted this high?
Yeah, I would say my like flexibility, versatility within the defense. Playing deep, playing in the box, playing in the slot, moving around so quarterback doesn't know where I'm going to be at, and it also frees up other guys to make plays. So I feel like flexibility kind of deepens the playbook and gives the defense a lot more opportunities to make plays.
Do you think, you remember, you watch Ed Reed and those guys, when you start talking about the Sean Taylors, the Ed Reeds and Ed Reed, I love how Ed Reed used to out-quarterback the quarterback.
Yes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like he would start one way and then run all the way because he knew where the play was going. Are you talking, you're playing that kind of way? Can you play with that kind of freedom if somebody gave it to you?
Yeah, I think so. And I think that comes with time, too. Film study, obviously, but as a safety, I think it's one of the hardest positions in football. And if you don't do your film study like Ed did, it's impossible to play that position.
When you view NFL defense, because obviously I know you watch your football and you know your football, when you view NFL defenses, what do you find or do you see somebody where you say that's the right system for me? Do you think like that as a player aspiring to get to the next level, or do you harbor the mentality, it don't matter where I'm going to be who I am?
Yeah, I would say the latter. I would say I can conform to whatever system I'm in. I feel like that just comes back to my versatility. I don't want to be, I'm only playing in the 2 high, or I'm only playing in a defense where I'm in the box. I feel like wherever I go, I can adapt and do well.
When I was going through this process, getting ready to get drafted, I was sitting there thinking to myself, okay, I want to step in the league and make an impact. Who is the man that right now is doing it in the NFL? At the time, it was Darryl Green. My whole mindset was, I got to get in this league and do the dirty to Darryl Green so everybody understand who I am. Is there anybody that you're thinking about, or any quarterback, any team, or any receiver that you may just want to do some dirty to get your respect?
I grew up a big LSU fan, so I grew up a big Odell Beckham fan. He was my screensaver in middle school, stuff like that. I've been rooting for him, been a fan of him, but it'd also be cool to go against him, make some plays, kind of show that I'm on that level too. That'd be pretty dope.
Yeah.
You know, he's from a family of basketball players.
Is that?
Yeah. Can hoop a little too, right?
Yeah, my pops played overseas for about 13 years. My uncle is Antonio Lang, played at Duke. Yep, that's my uncle. So
So I'm taboo. I'm the only football player in the family.
Growing up, did you want to be in the NBA?
I want to be in the NFL, but freshman year I was about 5'11", 140, soaking wet. So the football dream was looking a little bleak. I had a few basketball opportunities, but as soon as I got my first football offer, it was over with.
I'd be remiss. So you were that short? You played like guard? You played a guard or something?
Yep.
Because I'm asking because that's
sprouted.
great ball control and understanding ball placement. Yeah. So I want to know that you can go and get that football and make some great plays.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
I definitely think basketball translated to football very well for me. Yeah.
He can golf too, by the way.
Okay, all right, I got you. Let me transition back to Notre Dame for a second here. You got a new football coach. His name is Marcus Freeman. I'm very, very happy that he's the new head coach of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. He was the defensive coordinator there prior to getting this job. I want you to speak to him and what he's been able to do to help you get to this point.
Yeah, I would say just how comfortable the building is with him at the helm. He's actually coming out here today, so he'll be here for the draft, which I appreciate. But he's a relatable guy. He's a younger guy. Guys have seen him in his Ohio State uniform, clowning him about his bald head and stuff like that. And then in the NFL. So taking criticism from a guy who's been through it, who's closer in age to you, and taking coaching from him as well is probably a little easier. No offense to Coach Kelly. He's a great coach. Never done anything ill will towards me or anybody else that I know of, but he had to do what he needed to do. But I think Coach Freeman is a very fresh spot in the program.
Cal, our job, as I tell everybody, is always to introduce you to the NFL audience. You think by the time you leave this game, those names that you remember, your name will be hovering in those areas. The Sean Taylors, the Ed Reeds, those great safeties that we watched in this game.
I 100% think so. I mean, that's the goal. I feel like that should be the goal for a lot of people. And you set your goals high, it forces you to work hard, it forces you to understand the work that's going to have to go into it for you to reach those goals. And I'm just excited to start the journey because I believe in my talent. I'm excited to make all these relationships.
I believe you. But let me tell you something right now. Because you mentioned Derwin James and Sean Taylor. You understand?
What do you want to set the bar low?
Remember that.
Exactly.
We all remember. I mean, he mentioned some. Listen. I believe in the brother. I believe in it.
I'm with it.
Listen. First takes allergic to scrubs. He wouldn't be here. He wouldn't be here if he didn't believe
I appreciate that.
But I'm just telling you. You mentioned Sean Taylor and Derwin James. We'll be watching. We'll be watching. All right.
Kyle, have fun tonight.
Thank you. I will. Appreciate it.
Really
Thank you. Thank
All the best, bro.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Coming up here on First
Round, Marshall Irvin, wide receiver, Miami.
Dallas Cowboys, Super Bowl bound next year. Super Bowl bound.
An impact player who should help a depleted wide receiver core immediately.
He really doesn't have too many weaknesses at all.
Big plays he made at Miami is something that our team probably hasn't had.
I enjoy the pressure. I think that's when I shine most.
I need a solo shot of that chain. Please tell me that was not real, right?
Oh my God! That was real.
That was as thick as a rope.
Yeah, that's what they were wearing.
Climbing rope in gym class.
That was the
you see that? How thick that was?
Starters kit, man. Oh my God, man. Oh, every time I see that, I was like, who is that dude right there?
Oh my gosh.
Who is that dude?
You really don't look that different.
And it's so funny because you asked the young man about taking. I had Steve Pallure and Sweeney at quarterback, and I come to him, we're ready to go to the Super Bowl. I was crying after every game. We lost 13 games that year.
That's right.
I was like, my God,
That's
what did I get into? So yeah, it can shock you.
Is it true? Can I ask this serious question? Is it true that Jimmy Johnson arrives in Dallas and he says, who we got on this squad, Michael Irvin? Who we need to get rid of? And you said you need to get rid of him.
Every joker.
You pointed out.
Well, every joker that said something to me when I literally was crying like a baby. And some guys would come up and say, hey, man, we don't do that in the NFL. We collect them checks on Tuesday. Oh, you got to go. Oh, you got to go. Oh, you going to get out of here.
Exactly.
When Jimmy came that next year, I mean, and I'm still friends with some of them. Right. I just couldn't win with them.
Right.
So it wasn't anything personal. It was just about the ring.
So in other words, it's about the ring. It was about the ring.
It's all about the ring.
And the bottom line is if you had cats that weren't as committed as you were to winning, you would have gotten them. You would have gotten rid of them.
I was going to Jimmy to get rid of them. Yes, I was. And that's the bottom line. It's about winning. Everybody comes in the league for whatever they want to come in the league for. You may want to come in to get famous. You want to come in and make money. You may want to just go at the girls. I don't care. But if we go at winning, everybody can get what they want. If we win. So if you want that money, you come on, put on down on this winning, and then you can get the money.
I asked that question for a reason because we know on the NBA circuit there's a lot that happened this year, and especially in Brooklyn with Mr. Kyrie Irvin.
Oh yeah.
That brother put out a tweet today. We ain't talking about it today because we at the NFL draft. Let me look into the audience and say this. Oh, you thought I had stuff to say before. Wait until first take tomorrow. I'ma save it. I'ma marinate on what this brother had the audacity to put on social media today. I'ma let it marinate for the next 24 hours. Molly, I want to emphasize, Molly Kiram doesn't have anything to do with this. The ESPN executives don't have nothing to do with this. The producers, the great Sam Tanucci, Antoine Lewis, James Dunn, and the whole crew, they have nothing to do with this. Put that camera, don't right here. Tomorrow on First Take,
I love him.
This brother right here gonna put up this stuff on social media to say the stuff that he said. I'm going to let it marinate for the next 24 hours. If ever the cuffs came off on First Take, it's coming off tomorrow. I can't wait. I don't even want to sleep. I don't even want to sleep before I comment to this stuff that he just said. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. And I told the producers, we ain't even touching on that today. I'm going to save it for tomorrow when I got more time.
We'll absolutely get
Kyrie wants to respond. Kyrie wants to say what he's going to say. Well, I want to say what I'm going to say.
Okay.
I'm going to say.
Guess what?
Because guess what?
You have 2 hours tomorrow to do it.
I didn't say. There's a whole lot I didn't say. But I will tomorrow.
All right.
I will tomorrow.
By the way, I know I'm going back to it, but real cool seeing you on draft night. Real
Yeah,
cool.
it's so great.
All right.
But it is a great night for a lot of young men, and we're here to see it. And
You
it
dressed.
really is.
I can't believe you actually dressed better then.
Okay, let's go. Let's get to the debate. To whom much is given, much is required. It's been the off-season of receivers. This draft littered with wideouts. Meanwhile, some current star receivers have been involved in blockbuster trades and are getting paid. Devontae Adams reunited with his college quarterback in Derek Carr. Meanwhile, the Chiefs got a haul in trading Tyreek Hill to the Dolphins. So, Michael, I'll ask you this. Is there more pressure on the Chiefs and Packers, or would you say on Hill and Adams now to turn things around?
Okay, and we were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
How, boy, when Chris Olave came, I talked about the importance of receivers, and I want to yell about the mantra and push the receivers as far as I can, as much as I can. Let me tell you where this pressure lies. This is right on Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill. Let me tell you why. Because the NFL is marinating on this $30 million price tag for wide receivers. That's why we got these guys right now in limbo, the Deebo Samuels, the A.J. Browns, and the Terry McLaurin. They've offered A.J., I'm sure, $20 million, but they don't want to go to that $30 million range. And these two guys left great teams, very good teams, to go to other teams and take the bag at the $30 million. Now, side note, I hate when the guys go, the teams always come back and say, well, we would have paid them. Shut up. Shut up. You would have paid them. You should have paid them. Stop saying that to placate the audience. You didn't mean it. You didn't do it. Now they're gone. But here's what they're going to say. If Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill doesn't go tear up their new places, they have to go show the whole league that the receivers are worth $30 million. If they don't go tear up Miami, and they don't go tear up the Raiders. And Kansas City and Green Bay still wins with receivers they go in the draft and get. Then all the rest of the teams in this copycat league start saying, oh, you don't have to pay a receiver $30 million. You see what this team did. You see what that team did. And they still maintained and got on top. These teams paid $30 million, and they didn't do great. I need Devontae and Tyreek to understand that they have to stand up this year in those new places for all the guys that are coming after them. I appreciate them starting it by moving this bar to 30, but now you got to go prove it by showing up and playing. You left two great quarterbacks for two quarterbacks that we still say has something to prove, you got to be the difference to make them cross their water.
Once again, to regurgitate an earlier point, you said they have to go prove it by doing what?
Well, they don't have to raise those teams up.
No. You said showing up and playing.
Showing up, playing, and winning.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't get
what I'm trying to say to you is that you ain't just talking. I actually am deferring to you. You preaching the gospel, as you say, because I want you to understand that I'm not joking. The importance of your words ain't just about wide receivers. Right. They're about professional athletes. We got too many people out here getting the money, but don't want to put in the work. You see, and that's what you're speaking about. And that's why I preach it, because it ain't coming from me who ain't on that level, okay? Obviously, it's a little different. They can't say nothing to a three-time Super Bowl champion and a Hall of Famer who was known, A, as the playmaker, and B, as one of the hardest workers to ever grace a football franchise. So I appreciate that. I'm dead serious. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Because those words are inspiration. That's what you need. That's what you need to say to some of these people. And I'll get to that point again tomorrow. Now let me get back to your point here about these receivers. You're still wrong. You're still wrong. You're still wrong. You know why you're wrong?
How am I wrong?
I'm getting ready to tell you. Because you're focusing on the individuals.
Right.
You're saying they left the situation.
They left great quarterbacks
to go and get the money.
Right.
I beg to differ. Tyreek didn't leave. You pushed him out by not paying him if you Kansas City. You said we could get additional assets on top of Tyreek Hill if we let you go. And we could use that money to funnel in some other athletes, which is why Juju Smith-Schuster is there, which is why Valdez-Scantling is there, along to join McCole Hardman. So I get all your point, okay? And you looking at this cat, Davante Adams, well, you know what? You in Green Bay. Your quarterback took the money. And as a result, you said it wasn't much left for you. Now, Green Bay can sit up there and say they were going to pay you and what have you, but the bottom line is they were dancing around the issue.
Patrick Mahomes and Chris Jones took a lot of the money, too, in Kansas City.
So are you insinuating it was a mistake to not stay with the talented teams?
I'm not saying it's a mistake. I'm saying complete the task.
Fine.
Complete the task. Now let's go over here and raise these boys up so everybody can see what number one receivers can really do.
What's he going to do in Miami?
No. We're waiting. They're ready to make the next step.
What do you mean next step? What do you
they're
mean
ready to make the
What's
next
the next step for Miami?
First of all, we hadn't given Tua, and I said this last year, we haven't given Tua enough time to find out what all he is. Now he's getting time, and he's making some plays. Yeah, Jalen Waddle.
I like Tua, but
Jalen Waddle had a great year for a rookie last year. A great year. Now you're going to put Waddle. You're going to put Waddle in with Tyreek Hill. You got the fastest team.
5-yard passes. Stop it, man.
You got a
He ain't no Justin Herbert.
Yeah, but
we got to get
yes, he's throwing 5-yard passes, but they went and got him 5-yard pass makers.
We got to go.
You can get a ball, Tyreek Hill, 5 yards, and he can turn it into 65.
We got to go. Can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
The Green Bay Packers paid Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
They lost Valdez-Scantling. They lost Davante Adams. The most pressure is on them because when we look at Aaron Rodgers, damn it, we expect Super Bowl contention. He got some making up to do for losing a porn star Jimmy at Lambeau Field, and in inclement weather, and you only scored 10 points. Hell with that. But the Green Bay Packers have more pressure than Tyreek Hill and Davante Adams combined.
They're going to be fine.
Yes, they do.
Hill,
Like I said, they got more pressure.
Don't listen to this. Don't listen to this. Show up for our boys, man.
They call him the playmaker for a reason. Who better to break down one of the most stacked receiver classes in years than 3-time Super Bowl champ, the playmaker, Michael Irvin. Irv's top 3 playmakers. Michael, take it away. We'll start with number 3.
Let me tell you something, guys. Lately in the draft's been about speed. But this guy right here gives me the best combination. I'm talking about speed and NFL-ready route running ability. I say Garrett Wilson is my number 3 guy. Now, the guy we had here, too, is a lot like him, Chris Olave. Both of these guys out of Ohio State, the program will produce great NFL players. That's why they are NFL ready, like I talked about. Let me tell you my number 2 guy right here, though. This is a beat. I always tell Stephen A, I said, man, I used to line up Stephen A. Well, if I attack a man's weakness, that means I want to beat him. But if I attack his strength, that means I want to break him. This dude break DBs right here. He's 6'5", 220 pounds, and he's a physical football player. Anywhere you throw the ball, anywhere near him, he'll come down with this ball. He's a basketball player, too, so you know he understands how to body up people. But if you give me my choice of wide receivers in this draft, even with his leg as an ACL right now, I'm taking Jameson Williams. Oh, man, this dude right here is he would be one of the most feared receivers in the National Football League. A lot like Tyreek Hill. He has the ability to run by anybody, anytime, any day, anywhere, but also has an ability to take some short passes and go long. Oh,
Michael Irvin's top playmakers in 2022.
I shouldn't say that.
A little NBA action. Last night saw Steph Curry and the Warriors taking care of the Nuggets in 5 games. The Warriors now wait to face the winner of the Grizzlies-Wolves series. Irv, Stephen A's been rolling with the Warriors, so tell me this. Who do you like to win the NBA title?
Let me tell you, I was at that game the other day. I saw it. I saw Luka do some things at the Mavericks game. I saw 2023 going to be a great year for Dallas. It's going to be a trifecta. That's why you saw those 3 belts. Earl Spence will take out Tyrone Crawford, right, in 2023. Okay, the Dallas Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl in Arizona, the same place we won our last Super Bowl. I've heard so much about nobody's won since they won last. Well, let's go win it in the same place. And I'm telling you, the final.
Oh, my God.
Boy, Dallas Mavericks are coming. The Dallas Mavericks are coming. They may not do it this year, but next year, the Dallas Mavericks are coming. I'm telling you right now, Dallas, we got a trifecta.
Oh, my God.
We got belts for champions coming our way. I'm telling you, I was there. I put my eyes on it. I saw it with my own eyes.
Last time I checked, you didn't leave this earth the last 27 years. You've been around. It hasn't worked. I mean, this is laughable.
But it's back in Arizona, too.
Now, you can't rhyme. I guess you can't rhyme now. It ain't so fly and so far. That's Arizona, right? That's Arizona, right? You know, this is unbelievable. I'm just trying to tell you, it ain't gonna happen. And then you bring the Dallas Mavericks in. I love Jason Kidd, Coach of the Year candidate. Nico Harris is doing a great job. Luka Doncic is the real deal. Spencer Dinwiddie, big time pickup. Dallas is still a player away. They're still a play away. Stop it, okay? Dallas Cowboys.
Keep hope alive.
Listen,
keep it alive. The trifecta's coming.
Tell me, Molly. I will say this. The Dallas Mavericks will win the championship before the Cowboys do. I'll say that. I'll say that. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that.
Oh, you don't think Earl Spence going to beat Tyrone Crawford? You don't think Earl Spence going to get Crawford, too?
I got Crawford.
Man, get on out of here, man. Get on out of here, man.
I got Crawford right now.
Great to have you back. Don't let him get you.
He's just
I love Earl Spence.